Satnam, I'm Sahej, and I am doing this project for Vision Lab, which we have been diving into images of the phoenix and stories about the phoenix, that transformational aspect of renewal in the human. And so this is the story of Sati. Sati is an Indian story in the Hindu tradition, and she was the wife of Shiva. So what is this? Sati actually is Durga. She's the supreme goddess, but she chose to fulfill the wish of Daksha, her father, and become his daughter. And she was his favorite daughter. And he was a Prajapati. A Prajapati is one of the original progenitors of mankind. And he got very puffed up in his assessment of who he was in the universe. And when it came time for Sati to marry, she chose Shiva. She is his consort. And he was not happy with this choice. He thought Shiva was, who is this guy who's all dirty with matted locks and smoking ganja and always hanging out with ghosts and demons. So he didn't like Shiva. He didn't see Shiva as the aspect of the divine, the destroying aspect of the divine. So if we think about God as the generating, organizing, and destroying principle, Shiva generally is associated with the destroying principle. And he's a very high personality in the Hindu pantheon. And this is the energy, but it's also personal energy. He's considered one of the highest devotees. His qualities are equanimity and always serving those who are the lowest and bringing those and doing the really difficult jobs in the universe to serve the totality. So he's a great devotee of the Lord, and in this case we would call the Lord Vishnu. And Vishnu and Brahma, who is the creator. So it's these three aspects: the organizing, destroying, and generating, right? So Vishnu is considered the preserver, the highest tattva in that understanding of maintaining the entire cosmos. And Brahma is the creator. He created the universes and the worlds and that sort of thing. And he had all the inspiration and tools from the Supreme. And Shiva is one of the highest devotees. He's most devotional. And he will do anything that the divine asks him to do. And Sati, understanding these qualities of Shiva and understanding who he was, wanted to serve and be his wife. Now, Daksha decided to do a yajna, and a yajna is an oblation to the Supreme, and he was offering it to Vishnu, but he didn't want to offer it to Brahma and Shiva. And this is a great offense, a great mistake, because we want to acknowledge all aspects of the divine. We want to acknowledge the higher devotees. We want to pay respects. And Vishnu holds this to be one of the biggest offenses to him, is if you offend his devotee. So Daksha was having a sacrifice, and everyone in the universe was coming. All the demigods, all the gods, everyone was coming, except Brahma and Shiva. And Sati could hear this in the universe. She knew that her daughter, her sisters, and her mother were preparing. Everyone was preparing, and they were all getting their finery, and they're coming in their airplanes, and they're all excited about this yajna for Vishnu. So she's discussing this with Shiva, her husband, and he's saying, "Don't go. It's not going to be a good event." And Daksha had already offended Shiva very deeply and hurt him very deeply. And she was aware of this, and she knew that they had an antithesis toward each other. Yet she wanted to be with her family. She wanted to come with her husband in her beautiful clothes and be participant. And to see her father. She'd been missing her family. So as a woman, she just wanted these things, And so she's having a discussion with her husband, and he's saying it's not going to come out well for you if you go. Please don't go. And she didn't like being caught between her desire to go and be with her family and the father that has sort of made this big offense, and her husband. So she got really mad. She decided to go anyway. So she goes, and then all his followers follow her to the yajna. And when she gets there, she realizes that this a great offense to her husband has been made, and that her father is completely uh, unaware of the magnitude of his offense. So she gets very angry, and he won't acknowledge her, and this hurts her very deeply. So in her, Shiva is one of the highest yogis, and the yogis have a system for transformation in the body. And that transformation is taking the Kundalini energy, the dormant potential of the human being, and bringing it up the spine and channelizing that supreme heat to raise the consciousness. And at a certain point, Sati says, I no longer want to associate with this family. I told you as Durga that I would become your daughter, but you have not honored the energies that I bring. And so she decided to self-immolate herself. But we can see this as a transformation of letting go of everything that no longer serves the human, including if that means that your family has no longer serves you, you can transform your energy to become your highest soul, the aspect of your divinity, right? Because when we attach to anything earthly, it's temporary, even our family. So Sati takes the life airs, she takes all this energy, and through her powers of concentration brings that energy up and totally annihilates herself. And when that happens, Shiva is so upset. Now he can't hold himself back, because before he had been very unwilling to say anything to Daksha and just keep that to himself. But now a line has been crossed. So he comes, and with all his followers, they decimate the yajna, and they kill Daksha, and they maim everyone who supported Daksha in a way that would help them learn the lesson of who Shiva was. Not in a malicious way, but in an understanding of this is how the divine works. And this is sort of like the time when we're talking about that we're living through right now, where COVID is setting the rules. Mother Nature is saying we've crossed a line, and now it's time to pay attention to what's really important. And so the cultivation of spirit and that transformation from our attachment to our earthly conveniences and things that bind us, we need to let go. So this is the transformational aspects that are dormant within us, the potential within the human being. And this is the story of Sati. So thank you.